on a long log. And it'd be so long and thick, and I used to hate to see lunchtime come around. So, oh Lord, Granny gonna make us eat those thick bologna sandwiches. Why did she make them thick? So we can stay full until dinner time came around. So yeah, I have, just like I said before, we all got memories of our granny. Everybody got memories of their grannies, but nobody has memories of the grandpa. Where was grandpa at? Because him and granny was separated. And then there are some grandpas right there in the family, and some grandparents are married, and it's still always the granny. Say, well, where was your grandfather? Oh, he was there too. Okay, he was there, but you rarely hear anything about what your papa taught you, or what papa did with you, or what advice that your papa gave you, you know. And some of us were real close to our grandparents, and I love to hear people when they say about the grandfather. I mean, of course, grandmama, but we know grandma's gonna be there. But I love to hear people when they say anything about their grandfather, you know, and grandparents that pass away. I'm specializing on the grandfather because you rarely hear anything about the grandfather being within the home or even out of the home. It's always my grandmother, my grandmother, my grandmother. And we play a part in that too. And I'm not talking about the young people that got it all together, that's coming from a horrible background and managed to pull it all together and keep sanity and think positive. I'm not talking about those. They're good. They're straight. They're good. I'm talking for those that come from the same background and then come out too good. Those are the ones I'm interested in. It's just like saying, you got a big bowl of apples. You're not concerned about all the good apples. You're concerned about the bad apples. Does that make sense? Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I was raised up in foster care. Okay? Raised up in foster care. I was the only one that was raised up in foster care. Now, you think I would turn out some type of way, but I didn't. And my other sisters and brothers was pretty much grown when all this stuff started happening within my family. You know, a couple of my brothers went into the reserve, went into the army. My older sister, she had got married. So that left me and my other brother and my other sister. When terms, my little brother, when his biological grandmother, he went to live with his grandmother. He didn't go stay with his dad because his dad had died. So my other brother, my other sister went with him. Okay? Now we're all still connected with each other. Well, we all are just a little different. We see things a little different. I was the only one that I can truly say was actually raised up in the church. Now, before we were split, my mom used to take us to church and all that good stuff. But you know, you can go, let's say when you're little and your mom take you to Sunday school every day, take you to church and all this stuff, and things happen within her life, you kind of stop going. That's what I'm talking about. You kind of stop going. So when I was 11 years old, church is all I knew. Church. So I can truly say all of my life I've been raised up in church. From when I had to get separated from my family until my foster grandmother, she went to Williams Temple. And I was a little thing. I think I was 7. All the way up now, and I'm 53 years old. I'm still in church. Some of you old heads like me, if your mom didn't go to church, she sent you to church with your neighbors. If she didn't send you to church with your neighbors, you went to church with your granny. You know, that type of thing. But now, are our children are they being raised up like that? Why? Because some of our parents don't have an interest in going to church. And that's okay. That's all right. But I said all that to say, young people, I know it's rough out here. I know it's rough because I'm living the same life. It's rough. It's rough. You got jobs, you're trying to make ends meet. You know, I'm talking to those that's having a rough time. See, don't get it twisted thinking I'm talking about those that everything is peaches and cream. No, honey, just don't revert to you. This is talking about those that's having it rough. And they got 5 kids. And they got teenagers. And they doing it all by themselves. These are the ones that I'm talking about. You know, that's having it real rough out here. You know. When you hear about these guys out here that's in the game, these are somebody's babies. These are somebody's grandkids. These are somebody's nieces and nephews. Those are the ones I'm talking about. Those are the young people that I'm talking about. And I'm sure that some of the moms and dads and aunties and uncles have tried to talk to these young people and say, son, you're making a wrong decision. Daughter, you're making a wrong decision. You're making a wrong decision. Don't take that path. That path is going to lead you to destruction. And these are our nephews, our cousins, our brothers. You know, try to talk to them. Pull them back in. Now, my sister's children, my 2 sisters, well, my 3 sisters, because there's Nicole, Cookie, and Sylvia. And when my little nephew started veering off to the left, we all snatched him. Look here, boy. What's wrong with you? So after you get through talking, and they still want to do their thing now that they're 23 and they're 19, they feel like they're out of high school. Well, you made your decision. Now you have to pay the penalty for it. And I'm sure there are a lot of young men and women that's in jail right now. And if they had to do an interview on all of them, they'll say, do you have any regrets? Some will say, some not, but some that know that they were brought up in good homes and had the support that they needed. It's just that they got sidetracked. One a leader, but they was a follower. And they will tell you, I regret that I didn't listen when my family was trying to help me. So if there's any young person that's out here watching this video, honey, listen. Stop what you're doing and think. Stop what you're doing and think. And I know some of y'all had it rough. Had it real rough. Especially some of the young women, you know. You all be surprised what goes on in these homes, and our young people are being raped and molested by their stepdads. Some even worse. Some of them child by their own parents. You know, and that's just real talk. That causes them to don't care anymore. It causes them to give up on their education. Causes them when they go to school and you're in the 9th grade, the 11th grade, the 8th grade, the 7th grade, to where they can't function, they can't think because they got all this stuff that's going on in their lives. You know. But you put that in God's hand. You let God handle that and get you out of all this mayhem that surrounds you. You give it to God. There are a lot of people out here that's under stress and they know what to do. You pray. You seek God. God can get you out of anything. Y'all, I hope you all got something out of this little talk. What's going on with our youth. Because I've been really thinking about our young people. You know, I'm watching the news. You hear all the shootings and killings and stuff like that. And I said, Lord, what is wrong with our young people? What is wrong? What's going on? It's so much. So much. And I had to ask myself, do you blame the parent for their bad behavior? Or is that the kids are making the bad decision? Who do you blame for it? Do you blame the parent that's out here trying to make a good life for the other 2 little ones, where you got this 13-year-old girl or boy and you're doing the very best that you can? You're living in this nice place and your rent is $900 a month and you got to work 2 jobs to maintain that nice place. And they're out here doing all sorts of stupid stuff. Do you blame them? Or do you blame the ones that's out here, got a job, everything's good, they're not necessarily struggling, but they just don't care about the kids? That is sunny over here. They're not invested any time and energy into their teenager or the 7 or 8 year old. So who do you blame for all of that? Do you just blame it all on the kid? Or do you blame the parents? Who do y'all think who's to blame for? Do you think it's society? I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure out who's at fault. I guess the answer will be nobody, right? Nobody. You just let the chips fall where they may. So we don't hold anybody accountable. We don't hold the parent accountable. We don't hold the grandparents accountable. We don't even hold the kids accountable. We just let the chips fall where they may. No, somebody has to be accountable to a certain degree. To a certain degree. I hold the parents accountable for when they're children, when they're babies. But when they get to be 18, 19, 20 years old, you're done your part. You're done your part. You send them out of high school. You try to get them into college. Now they get to make their own decisions. Yeah, they get to make their own decisions. The law states that you have to be 21 years old to go into a bar or a club, right? 21. So you got a 21-year-old gangbanger out here in the streets. Who's going to hold him accountable? He has to hold his own self accountable. Why? He's 21. You got a 14, 15-year-old gangbanger. Who's held accountable? The parent is. Why? They're underage. Can you control everything that they do? No. No, you cannot. Can you control everywhere that they go? To a degree. To a degree. You can't control anything if you're not present, if you're not there. You send them off to school. Hopefully that's where they're going. I'll give you another example. When Vanessa was a teenager, in junior school, junior high school, she thought I wasn't going to find out that she didn't go to school. I come home, I get this call, because you know the school do the roll call thing, and if your child's not there, they're calling you and find out where they are. So the school called and said, oh, Vanessa's not here at school. We're just trying to find out why she's not here. I'm panicking. I'm really panicking. I'm thinking the worst. Oh Lord, my child has been kidnapped. Oh Lord, somebody snatched my baby on the... I'm really panicking. I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy. I'm calling my mom. I'm calling my sister. Y'all, Vanessa ain't make it to school. Oh Lord, I need y'all help. She didn't make it to school. What didn't happen? So suddenly the phone rang. Now I checked the answer machine. At that time I had an answer machine. I'm checking the answer machine. Here it is, Miss Vanessa on the phone. She thought she was calling one of her little friends, and somehow or another, I don't know how it happened, she ended up calling the house. I hear her in the back, her and some other kids in the background saying, well, ask them if they gonna come over. Ask them if they gonna come over. She was at one of her little friends' house. At one of her little friends' house. Long story short, 3 o'clock came. I go to around the corner where I think she was. Lo and behold, that's where she was. She come out the door like she just getting in from school, and she's on her way home. She was just walking her little friend home, then she was going to come. I said, where have you been all day, little girl? Where have you been? I said, listen, when I ask you again, you better not lie. And I'm asking you one more time, where have you been all day? I've been here. I said, you've been here in somebody's house. What have you learned all day? Absolutely nothing. I said, you know what that makes you? That makes you the biggest dummy in the world. That's what that makes you. Why? Because all the other students are at school trying to learn something, and you sitting up here playing hooky from school. I said, let me tell you something. Don't you ever do that again. Don't you ever make such a stupid decision that you can ever make is to play hooky from school. Now, let me say this. She was just being a kid, a teenager. I've never played hooky from school. I never did that. A lot of us never did it. Some of us have. But with an incident like that, that's the time that's very important. Very important. Now, I could have just said something to the fact like this. Well, if you want to be a dummy, that's on you. Play hooky from school. That's your dumb butt that's going to be done for all your life. And what ends up happening is this. They end up being a dumb butt for the rest of their lives. So you have to take the initiative sometimes to take it a little step further to get your children to see the importance of how it is, what it means to stay in school. Y'all, I just get this funny feeling. You know, sometimes my intuition, and it never steers me wrong, that some people are going to view this tape and they're going to take things totally out of context. But I'm speaking to the older generation. You all understand what I'm saying. You know, that how certain things that you do when you're raising up your kid, because there are some out here. I used to work with the Division of Family Services. And I had this one young girl. She was about, I think her name was Paulette. She was in this foster home. Pretty girl, young girl. She's just lost within the system. And she wanted somebody to tell her wrong from right, to take an interest in her life. She wanted that. And she didn't get that. She told me, she said, if I only had somebody said, Paulette, don't do that, honey. Don't do that. Instead of me just going out here doing what I wanted to do because you wanted to be friends with me. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, this is a true story. This is a true story. I'm not just making this up. This is true. I used to give the young people my phone number if they needed somebody to talk to. Call me. And she called me crying because her mother didn't care what she did. She said, I can come to the house and talk like a woman. She don't even ask me where I've been or nothing. That's what I'm talking about. There are young people out here that need guidance. They're looking for us to tell them, baby, don't do that, or you're not going to do that. You can't do that, and why you can't do it. Crying because she wanted somebody to love her enough to tell her right from wrong. Don't do this. That's all I'm saying. Just take the initiative sometimes to be present. To be present. Oh, God, this thing. What's wrong? Y'all, I got to focus on this thing. I'm doing all this walking. I got to get credit for these mouths. No, activity paused. I got to get credit for this stuff. Cause I plan on doing 8 miles today. Resumed. Activity paused. Oh, Lord have mercy. So far, I've only walked 1 mile. Good God. I'm talking too much. I got to concentrate. But anywho, just stay mindful, stay present, y'all. You know. I even talk to young people that I don't even know. You know, I try to encourage them to stay on the right track and ask them what's going on in their lives. And they say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You know how sometimes you just pick up a conversation with people and encourage them. And you'd be surprised how some people got so much stuff going on in their lives, and if they feel comfortable enough talking to you, they'll begin to open up to you, and you exchange numbers and stuff. You'd be surprised how you meet people like that. That's the type of person that I am. I meet them, I start talking to them, you know, they come to church with me, all sorts of stuff, you know. And that's what you call being a good confidant, somebody they can talk to, and you can kind of help them along the way, you know. Yeah, it's just messed up. Morning. It's just messed up, you know. So anywho, let me get off, y'all. Let me concentrate. I walked past the science center and walked past the horse stable. I'm finna go up here, walk past the zoo. And I only got 1 mile. That means I'm not walking fast enough. And I'm a power walker. I like to walk fast. But anyhow, so I hope you guys enjoyed the little conversation with walking today. Leave a comment down below, and thank you to all of my subscribers, all my day ones and all my newbies. Love you guys with the love of Christ. And I'll see you guys this week. Little Chris is with me. We're going to put out a video today. He wants to do a noodle challenge. He can't do I got these noodles that are called curry noodles. They're just a little spicy. They're not as spicy as the other ones. He wants to do this little challenge. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to eat the spicy noodles, and I'm going to give him the regular noodles. So look for that video to come out sometime this week. In the meantime, smooches, can you see me? Can you see me? Should be about 7 by now. 7 o'clock in the morning. Until next time, you guys. Smooches to everybody. And I'll see you in the next vlog. Okay? All right. Bye.